with you. Good evening and welcome. This is first Face Off, I beg your pardon, and thanks for joining us again tonight. Wednesday night is always the time to have issues discussed from both sides of the coin. First, it was the mass failure recorded at the last West African examination for secondary schools. And while that dust is yet to settle today, what do we have? Over three-quarters of Abuja law students failing woefully their bio-examinations. There's something fundamentally wrong. Is this a case of mode of learning, poor studious orientation on the part of the student, or a combination of several other factors? Tonight on Face Off, if history serves us right, we've not had this testimony in the recent past of bad products or badly formed students. Face Off tonight, we'll be talking about education, the falling standards of education system, which is in dire need of some level of answers as to what we needed to be doing to move forward the standards of education. I have two guests in the studio. I have Oba and I have Dotto. We'll take this short break. As we return, we'll meet them, talk about what they think is responsible for the falling deepened standard of education in Nigeria. This is Face Off. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Face Off. Falling deepened standard of education in Nigeria. Who actually is responsible? Dr. Shodunke, you're an educationist, and you think institutions, government, or every other factor is responsible. Welcome to the show, first of all.
Yeah,
welcome to the show.
Are
you an Oba?
You just said it.
Oh, it's a name.
You just said it.
You're welcome to the show. You think the parents are responsible?
Yes, I think the parents are responsible.
Okay, Doctor, let me hear your first shots on this tonight.
Well, what I want to say is that parents are not responsible for the problem with our education system in Nigeria, but it's general systemic failure. You see, general systemic failure as a result of successive government, which I know I can say that the present administration is really working on, and we are seeing the work, but you can't see it overnight. So I say that we have systemic failure.
So when we have that decision period for education to come on, Oba? You're a parent too.
I've lived in 3 countries in my young life. Governments will always fail you. Any responsible human being should know that in some things you don't defy your responsibility. You don't expect the government to create institutions that will serve you well so that your children will have qualitative education. And education is the best inheritance you can give your children. I probably would have been stuck in motion if somebody did not invest good education on me and she sacrificed her life for me. I will not be one here to encourage any parent, because it is anybody could just have a baby. 2 fools can get together and have a baby. It does not mean that they don't have responsibility. The parents must live up to their responsibilities.
You see, let me tell you, if you talk about the parents, it is very wicked, very callous to blame parents for the problem of our education. Are you telling me that it was the parent that failed those JAMB students last year deliberately, and we saw some students scoring 4 in JAMB, 4/400, 0/400, being given the subject marks in the subject that they never took? Is that student? Is that parent? Are you telling me that is parent? I've been in this field. I am an educationist. I'm a teacher.
So you've been teaching badly?
No. I've been teaching very well, and I can tell you
that
I have my product out there that are doing very well. But what I'm saying is that the parents are trying their best, but there is a systemic failure. I can even say that the governments that we have had before this present one, they've not really done enough. And even this present one, I really appreciate our president. He's really trying. And I can outline so many things. You can see the way we resolved the last university crisis that we had, the amount that he gave to them, and it was resolved.
Okay.
The president that we have
this
now,
sounds very malicious.
Let me tell you. I see a man who is trying to cauterize all parties, and that is the typical definition of failure in life, when you want to make everybody feel good. You know what? Governments, like I said earlier on, I don't have too much kerfuffle of a sort with them. My major problem is, if you can, as a man and as a matured woman, come to the conclusion that you need to bring a life into being, you should know that beyond the ecstasy of the moment when that thing happens, beyond that ecstasy, you've got responsibilities. And if you end up letting the system fail your child or your children, and or the best thing you want to be doing is to be pointing accusing fingers,
we should look at the core, the center of this whole issue. Last WAEC, a lot of students failed. Is it the fault of the parents? Are you telling me that is the fault of the parents?
I think you should be addressing him.
Are you telling me that's the fault of the parents in the northeastern, where some girls were kidnapped? I'm coming. I looked at the last video. I'm coming, Oba. I went to the last video. Look, Oba, I'm supposed to respect Oba.
What I'm
said you are Oba, so let me land. You answer my question. What I'm trying to say is not in the north. There was serious failure. The last WAEC that they said there was general failure, the failure was not really around here. The failure was noticed more, if you study it very well, in the northern side. And the reason is very obvious. The problem of security there.
So that's why they're not.
So you have.
So it's not the problem
I have the opportunity to be looking at the camera in Nigeria and be telling Nigerian viewers that the massive failure was localized in the northeast. Is that what you're saying?
It is major there.
So the other parts of Nigeria passed very well.
I did